Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 6th episode of Princess Principal. Now last episode was a pretty big one because we got to meet Chise. I mean, we've seen Chise before, obviously in the first episode and the episode before last one because she was already there because I was further chronologically. But this episode, by meet, I mean we actually got to see her introduction to our characters. So they got to meet her, I guess would be a better way to put it. So it was a cool train sort of situation where we got to fight and try not to collide trains into each other, protect a Japanese man from being assassinated by another Japanese man. It was a pretty cool episode, a little bit emotional, to say the least, near the end there. So that was nice. So this episode, I think we're jumping pretty far ahead at case 18. So a lot could have happened between then and now. Hard to say for sure, though. But, I'm sure we'll figure out some things just watching it. So that's what I'm going to do. 3, 2, 1, play. We're counting. Oh, lockpicking lessons. Very valuable skill for a spy. As long as you do your best, that's all we can ask for. And there's Chise, who's now part of the group. Yeah, you just poke a couple things and then it's unlocked. Like, what do you not get? She's not a good teacher, is the point I'm getting. I still don't get it. Can you go more slowly? Maybe use a transparent lock? I mean, we don't have better options, is the point we're trying to make. That does work, though. Who needs a lockpick anyway, when you're a samurai? We have a lot of locks to practice with, at least. But it's good because we broke at least one of them there. Yes, quite clearly. Will we get some Dorothy backstory here? Because we haven't gotten much of that, comparatively. Well, not the only one that hums. Yeah. I think the title was like Rogue Morgue in this episode, so that could be what that's about. But okay. Yeah, we might get some Dorothy backstory, possibly. Because we don't know much about her. I think all we know is that she was an orphan that knew Anje from it, something like that. Like, whatever they said when Anje first transferred over here, they had some sort of talk like that. Might go back to that later. I think she said they knew each other at the orphanage. But I feel like we know more about almost everyone but Dorothy. Like, I think we know everyone better than her. Because, Anje, we know she's from the Black Lizard Planet. And has that bond with the princess. And we know Chise about her father and all that. And we know about some of the mechanical stuff with Beatrice. So we know a little bit about everyone, just not much about Dorothy. So it'd be nice if we could fix that. Yeah, Rogue Morgue. Inside the body, is that what that was about? Yeah, the morgue part. This does not sound like fun. That sounds horrible. Freaking Duke of Normandy. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I figured as much. Danny McBee and more father stuff. And it can never be good stuff, can it? Not in this show. You look nervous. Oh. As a black cat ran by her, that's terrible luck. Count on you, Beatrice. I understand. And there's two of us, so one of us is gone. Oh, wow, okay, yeah. That makes sense. So we're getting to the morgue. Maybe not for you. Sounds like it's a horrible job. You know, unless you're into that sort of thing. It's pretty low tech too, so no like refrigerated little room area things, whatever you'd call that, where you slide the corpses in. Capsule hotel. We have new people, stop arguing. There's nothing like the best work environments. So is that him? Yeah, it's him. And Daisy, that's a name. But I could have swore they said she was an orphanage girl. But she has a father, so I don't know. Indeed. Does not seem like a great father, no. Not from what I've seen so far. No, Soritomo Watashi screwed it up. Just moving the corpses around, this is our job. I did not volunteer for this. I was ordered to come here. It's hard to explain, I'm kind of a spy. That's hush-hush, though. Yeah, for good reason. Nobody wants to know or think about that they'll end up here one day. Ooh. This is a depressing episode. That's pretty much what I expected from an episode called The Rogue Morgue. Debts. It just comes across as more and more of a good for nothing. It's no one important, don't mind her. You just had to say that, didn't you? You just had to say that. Nothing good could come of them knowing that. Hands off. Wouldn't want that. Make a scene, why don't you? He does like to do that. He's not wrong. Really can't stand watching much more of this guy. Technically. Don't touch it, that thing's important. What is wrong with you? Like, how can you think any of your behavior is okay? Like, just, Yes, how out of the loop are you? We literally came here together. You just go away, please. Like anywhere that's not here. I could not put up with much of that. I have no words for how much I I have no words. I got that much. That sounds like a good idea. Just pretty cookie cutter abusive relationship. So we can bond and get to know each other. It was definitely true for Anja. Well, I wanted to know more about Dorothy, and that's what I got. Just not a good show for fathers is really just the takeaway here. That was sweet. Just because we're spies doesn't mean we can't be friends, you know? A lot can happen in 10 years. We're together now, that's what matters. It'd be nice if we could be more open about our relationship, but still nice that we're together. What a nice place to live. Yeah, it definitely looked better. Memories are naturally gonna come back. Just go lay down. And shut up. Well, it's what I wanted, I guess. Let's leave. No, I guess we got things to do here. I mean, there is the mission to think about, I suppose. He ain't getting up anytime soon, so... It's not like it would be that suspicious for his daughter to search around. Even if he woke up, I'm sure she could play it off. Mum. Very British. Could you at least just sleep quietly? We just like... well, he's awake now. Go back to sleep. I thought you were Dorothy. I'm getting confused. Or... okay. Well, I guess that's the situation. Well, that's good to know. But, you know... It's a good question. True enough. This is, of course, the debt collectors. How do you like being on the other side of a physical abuse? Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's very much not okay. There's the cross. That's gotta be it. Now I just gotta not suspiciously remove the notes or whatever. You know, just a little bit of karma, no big deal. No. Like, she should be able to guess it was the debt collectors, right? I mean, she saw that little bit at the entranceway the other day. But anyway, we gotta forget that for now and get this. I would hate to do this so much. Well, yeah, it's definitely got a compartment. Such a horrible way to send a message. Doesn't get much worse than that. Of course not. We, you know, want to be secretive. And that too, of course. I knew that was gonna play a factor into her decision making. I'm sure the people here would like you to leave as well. I found the body, the tooth, the notes. I got it for you. Even though you don't deserve it. He always does. I was gonna say, is she even old enough to drink? But she said she was 20 a few episodes ago, so I guess she is. Although I think your friend is not. I don't think things are gonna work out for you as well as you think they do. I just have a feeling. You know, the way it's building up, it just seems like you're getting ready for another fall. But we'll see. I mean, technically we haven't seen the note in it just yet. So... don't push your luck, buddy. That's a strong word. These guys again. He better not have done that. I hope I don't. Not really, no. You did say that, but I don't want to believe he would be that awful. But of course, they're not just gonna go along with it. Just say hello to the hand. You have the right to be. Yeah, because that's definitely gonna go better than the first time. So, just don't break too many bones. Even he backed up a little bit. Ooh, did he just stab him with his own knife? Yeah, that's not gonna work out for you. Okay. So they just assumed. That's what I was hoping. What did he say, though? Okay, so I was hoping he would at least have that little bit of morality there. It's not a lot, but it's something, you know. Pay both of us. It doesn't usually go well, but it's a thought that counts. She does not look amused by any of this. I don't think funds are really gonna fix everything. I just feel like you're more likely to just die. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of when he started getting greedy. And wow, the episode's almost over? Seriously? Where did the time go? I'm not sure that's gonna happen. That much is at least true. Should he be a great Kanban Musume? Oh, that's a face. This scene's hurting more and more the longer it goes on. Can we stop? Oh. Of course she's popular. Laughing as we go. She just looks so happy over there, but... yeah... Just happily singing during that. Stop, please just stop. not even an ED or anything. Well, that was the 6th episode of Princess Principal. I don't know why this show just hates me as much as it does. Like, can we at least have a break between episodes that stab my heart and rip it in half and dance on it? Just like one episode break between those kind of episodes. That'd be great, you know? But anyway. So this episode, Dorothy backstory, you know, as soon as we saw her humming and then transitioned over to somebody else humming, at that point it was already pretty clear that we would have a Dorothy focus episode. And, you know, I talked all about how we needed that because I felt like we had less of her than a lot of the other characters, and that's definitely changed, you know, by the end of the episode. So her backstory, basically, she has a father. He was a cool engineer guy, you know, but there's an accident. He lost his hand, went through some pretty serious personality changes, just kind of became a horrible father that drove her out. You know, the mother had already left at that point. Very, you know, physically abusive, and then, you know, would be all apologetic after it. You know, pretty typical abusive relationship stuff, you know. But that's not a good environment to live in at all, so it's good that she was able to get out of there. And what brought her back to him was the job, you know, the morgue he works at, now that he wants to work there. It's probably not a lot of places that are willing to have him there. I mean, we saw the kind of attitude and behavior that he has at the work, so, you know, it's not great. But he was pretty happy to see his daughter, that much is for sure, but he's just a very broken person, just, especially what happened with Beatrice. That really pissed me off probably more than anything else. Just, he's there, you know, being a bad person. Beatrice goes there to defend her friend. He just grabs her, lifts her up, tears some of her clothing, you know, screws around with some equipment that he has no idea what it does. He just plays with it like it's a toy. Just everything about that bothered me so much. And then, you know, after Dorothy rescued her, you know, his whole crying thing that he did just made it worse. Just really, that was basically when my respect for him basically hit a rock bottom. And, you know, I can only imagine the amount of feelings that Dorothy must have had during that scene. But, yeah, that was also a scene that showed that he was in debt, which should shock no one, really, because he seems like the type that would have debt collectors knocking on his door, not on the regular. So, but the mission was basically, there was a corpse with a hidden message that we had to find, but not actually take it, because that would reveal that we intercepted it. So we just had to figure out what it was, I guess, and then we're free to just let the father have it. And he's clearly working with, like, the Duke of Normandy to get it. You know, he was apparently promised some kind of payout for this, and he needed the money, quite clearly. So, again, not too surprising that he would accept the job. It just seems like such a horrible way to send a message, though. Just, you put into a fake tooth that you shove into a corpse, and just take it back out. Just, why? There's got to be a better way to send a message than that, you would think. But, I mean, it worked, more or less. Since we did go to his house, we were able to find out, you know, the tell about what the correct corpse was, which is good, because having to check every corpse for a note, that would not have been very pleasant. That would have been literal nightmare fuel. But we did end up finding a thing to that, which is nice. And things seem like they were going to work out pretty well for the most part. I mean, Dorothy, she was able to read the message without having to check too many corpses. The father was able to get the note, you know. So things should have went fine from there, but of course they didn't. Because of course when you work with bad guys, sometimes you don't get your promised payout. Sometimes you get a bit of a different payout, which is death. Which, you know, pretty much as soon as he started talking about getting more money, that's pretty much when it clicked in my head. This man's going to die. Man's going to die. He's suddenly kind of like turn over a new leaf type of thing, where he's talking about, you know, wanting to start over with Dorothy, you know, buy her things and all that, and just, you know, finally starting to have some sort of glimpse of likability and respectability from the audience, and all that coming together. It was pretty clear this man was going to die. And then we just see Dorothy. I mean, I kind of skipped over the the debt collector scene. But luckily, he didn't go down that road of, giving up his own daughter to them. Because I wasn't sure if he would. I was kind of 50-50 on whether or not he would actually go that far. But, once they were there, like, I was about 90% sure he did, but I was kind of holding on to hope that it was some kind of misunderstanding, and it actually turned out to be. So, basically he wasn't quite as bad as he could be. For whatever consolation that counts as. But anyway, we did see Dorothy and Beatrice at the pub waiting for him, talking about, him and all that. Dorothy kind of speaking about him in kind of more of a positive way. We had all the blushing and stuff, kind of showing that she doesn't like completely hate him or anything like you might have come across. Like, she left, of course, because it was good for her to do so. Like, nobody should live in that sort of household. The father, not hating her, caring about her does not necessarily mean it's a good idea to stay there, So that's, but feeling the need to leave and hate him, or they don't have to go hand in hand. So she did seem to be somewhat open to the idea of maybe somewhat mending things, but it was not going to happen. So we as the audience just kind of had to sit here watching Dorothy happily waiting for something that was never going to happen. Seeing the corpse just getting disposed of and brought to the morgue, and all while we hear this happy singing and stuff in the pub, and just, it hurts. It hurt, It wasn't quite as bad as the Chisa thing as far as how deep into my emotions it cut, but it was still pretty bad. It was a different way, kind of. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain emotions sometimes, but it bothered me roughly as much. It just didn't cut in quite the same way as the Chisa thing, because they were a little bit different. This one was more of a sad build-up, whereas the Chisa was just a quick stab into my emotions. So, but yeah, I really do wish that we could have gotten at least one episode of, I wouldn't go as far as to say full-blown, happy slice of life, but just a bit of a middle ground between that and absolute suffering, just a bit. So I don't know. It was a good episode, though. That's for sure. None of these spies have positive backstories. That's really what it comes down to, And the focus was obviously on Dorothy and her family issues, but we did get a little bit of chatting between the Anja and the princess. Not really much to say about that. But, just kind of talking about how the wall has torn people apart and all that. And they do want to be more open about their relationship, but they don't feel like they can currently, and kind of hope for things to change. And that'd be great if things could change, But change is usually pretty slow, so. And we also had some nice stuff between Dorothy and Beatrice in the car, which I quite liked, talking about friendship and all that. So, and there was some good friendship between them in the episode, defending each other and stuff that we got. Anyway, yeah. I think that's everything I have to say on the episode. Just another emotionally devastating episode, which that may be a trend at this point. What, next episode? Is it going to do the same thing again? Like, which character is going to make sad next episode? Guess we'll just, guess we'll find out then. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.